For 2024, I have set out to make an intentional wardrobe. So I'm thoughtfully going through every single pattern that I make. My next goal is to make a spring t-shirt, and I've been doing lots of research on Ravelry. These are my 10 favorite patterns that I have narrowed it down to. Ironically, I am in Utah right now. It is spring, but it is cold outside. Like, I can see snow on the mountains behind the camera here. And then behind me is this not the most gorgeous view. It is so lovely. The sun is setting right now and it's 7:30 p.m. Don't we love that? It's amazing. So when I was going through all of these patterns, I had a few requirements. One, this wasn't a requirement necessarily, but I do want to just be upfront that all of these are knitting patterns and not crochet patterns. I love crochet so much, but I specifically wanted to look for a knitted top. I'm going for sort of a really thin, sort of basic, classic kind of look, and that led me into knitted tops. Number two, all of these tops needed to be a tee. They need to be short sleeve. So all the tops you're going to see today are short sleeves, no tank tops. A couple of them you can lengthen the sleeve, like it's part of the pattern, but you can always do that as well. And then the other thing that I made sure that is very important to me is that all of these patterns fit up to a 60-inch bust with the intended ease. So whether it's negative or positive ease, that's included in the fit. And then the last thing is that all of these patterns have to be available in English. All right, without further ado, let's get into the first pattern. First up is the Skyline Tee by Foreo UFO3. This pattern came out in April 2024, literally this last weekend, like 2 days ago from when I'm filming this video. This pattern came out. It retails for $8.50 US, and it is a fingering weight pattern. It has a finished bust size from 34 to 66 with an intended positive ease of 4 to 6 inches. You can find all the details on all of these patterns on Ravelry, but I try to pull the most key things to share today. Now, this is a really simple, polished top that has saddle shoulders. It's knit from the top down. It has this really beautiful ribbing detail. The sleeves are a little bit longer, so this is a style choice that you may or may not be into. I like it for my body type. I think it looks really good, and on all of the testers that I've been seeing across Instagram and on Ravelry, it looks amazing on everyone. Mostly this top has been knit in solid colors, but I think it would be really fun to play with some speckles for this one. I also feel like this top lends really well to multiple fibers of yarn. I think it would be great in just a wool nylon 75-25, but I think you could also do, more of a plant fiber or a mixed sort of a base. I think that's it for this one, and let's move on to the next one. Next is the Color Tip Tee by Emily Curtis. This one came out in May of 2023 and it retails for $8 US. The sizes on this one are 32 to 64 with an intended positive ease of 4 inches. Just a note on the pattern page, Emily says that the sizes 8 and 9 were not tested. So if that is the size that you plan to make, you can actually email her. She's got the information in the Ravelry page, and she will send you a free copy of the pattern. Okay, so this is a fingering weight tee, very basic. It's got a little front pocket on it, which I think is really cute, and it is knit up in 3 colors. So there's the main color of the entire tee in the pocket, and then each of the little details has a different color. So there's one color for the sleeves and a color for the frocket, and then I think another color for the collar and the bottom hem. But you could have so much fun with this tee and use scraps to make every little piece a different color. I feel like this is one I'm really leaning towards because when I'm not wearing this long sleeve wool t-shirt, I'm wearing my short sleeve wool t-shirt with a pocket. So this would be like me literally knitting the top that I wear every single day when it's warm outside. So I'm really leaning towards this one. I love it so much, and I've had it in my favorites for a bit. So you might see this one pop up soon. Hey, I'm over here now. I may be in the middle of nowhere, but at least I can still have a spa day at home. I have been a longtime user of Foreo products, and most recently, I've been using the UFO3 Deep Hydration facial device. It is dry as heck in Utah, and actually our last few states as well. We've been at high elevation for the last couple of weeks, and my skin has definitely benefited from the extra attention. The UFO3 packs a punch with warming thermotherapy, cooling cryotherapy, LED therapy, and T-sonic massage. I know it sounds very fancy, but it's actually really easy to use. I just select my favorite mask and place it on the UFO3. Then I pick the matching mask on the app and hit go. I don't have to time anything or push any buttons, it does it all for me. You can also customize to create your own spa-like treatment. My favorite mask right now is Call It a Night. I like to use it as I'm getting ready to sleep because it leaves me feeling super moisturized and it doesn't irritate my sensitive skin. UFO3 is more effective than a sheet mask alone and is clinically proven to increase skin moisture by 126%. Now, the UFO3 is rarely discounted, but I do have a special offer just for you. You can get 30% off with the link in my description, and the first 50 people with the special coupon code will get an additional 10% off. Thank you so much to Foreo for sponsoring today's video, and now back to the tees. Number 3 is the Twisted Tee shirt by Brianna Lupino, otherwise known as the Little Wolf Knits. This one came out in July of 2021 and retails for $9 US. The finished bust sizes go from 32 to 64 with positive ease of 2 to 4 inches. So this one is a little bit more of a fitted tee. It's also cropped. It's 2 colors, or you can do 1 color, whatever you want, but a lot of the testers are in 2 colors. So it's got 1 color for the main body, and then it has twisted ribbing on the neck, the bottom, and on the sleeves. It's a really, really cute top. If you have 1 to 2 to maybe 3, depending on your size, skeins of fingering weight yarn, you can take those and knit this because, again, short-sleeved, cropped, it doesn't use a ton of yarn. And then again, you can use a single skein or maybe some scraps you have around to do the other parts of it. I always love these patterns. You know, Brianna is a very good friend of mine. So this one's been on my list for a while, and I feel like it's going to be one that I will want to knit up quickly. Number 4 is the Outline Tee by Jessie Made Designs. This one came out in June of 2021 and it is $10 US. However, if you're an email subscribers only, you can get 25% or 50% off of a pattern. And when you sign up for her email list, you get access to that immediately, which is great. This top has a finished bust size of 40 to 72 inches, and it is intended to be worn with 10 to 12 inches of positive ease. So this is a very flowy top. It's fingering weight, V-neck, softly structured, and it is perfect for plant fiber blends, says the designer. It also has these really cool drop stitches that go down the front, and then I think like down the side. It's the outline tee. It outlines. It's really, really cool. There's also an outline tank. We're not doing tanks in this video, but it's really, really cute as well. And this one has been on my list for a while. If it looks like I'm crying, it's because I'm starting to get very cold. With the sun setting, the temperature is dropping like crazy. But don't worry, we only have 6 more patterns to go. Let's go to number 5. Number 5 is the Ballard Tee by Sari Nordland. It actually came out this month as well, and it retails for €5.90, which is about $6.59 in US dollars. It has a finished bust size of 36.25 inches to 67.25 inches with the intended ease of 6 to 8 inches. Now this is our first DK weight pattern that we are seeing. It's actually knit up in a DK weight cotton. You can kind of click through the different project photos here and see that with the testers using different fibers, it turns out a little bit different in each of them. With the cotton, it looks a little more, the cables like come out a little more full, but when you change over to maybe a thinner fiber, it looks a little bit different. Still beautiful, but different. Thank you, Toaster, for your contribution. So this tee has a boxy fit. It is knit from the top down flat and then joined in the round, and it has these big, big cables on it. Another thing that the pattern designer suggested is using fingering weight and mohair held together rather than a single strand of DK weight. And you can see that a couple of the testers did that as well. So I think this one is kind of fun. It's a little more dressy. It may not make it into my like basic wardrobe for this year, but I definitely have it on my list for the future. Number 6 is the Rumble Raglan by Lydia Morrow, and it came out in May of 2022. This pattern retails for 15 Great British Pounds, which is about 1962 US dollars. Before you go, oh my gosh, one, think about how much sewing patterns cost. And then number 2, she does have an honor system for a low income discount. You can get either 33% or 66% off. There are details on how to get that, use that coupon code underneath each of her patterns, which I think is a wonderful thing. This one has finished sizes of 31 to 57 inches with intended negative ease of 0 to 6 inches. It doesn't state this explicitly in the Ravelry notes. This is my best estimate of math by going through each of the sizes that are listed, finish measurements, and bust measurements. So when you download the pattern, you'll get something a little more accurate. Just to note that the smaller sizes do have less negative ease. This is a fingering weight pattern. It's knit from the top down in the round, and it has really, really fun vertical color work. So it's got these vertical stripes. Most of the samples are knit in 3 colors, but they almost look like they have more. I had to stop and count several times, but it's really cool the way that the color work is done and how it blends together. I also saw a version that has 2 colors, and it was in pink, and it is super pretty. So this one is a really fun one if you're looking for maybe something to, bust a few single skeins in your stash, or you're just looking for a really fun colorwork pattern that you can incorporate into your wardrobe. Number 7 is the Quill Tee by Tiff Nealon. This one came out in July of 2022 and retails for $9 US. The finished sizes are 32.5 to 64 inches with the intended positive ease of 1 to 4 inches. This is also a fingering weight pattern. I mean, fingering weight is pretty good for spring and summer anyway. It is seamless, top down, and has easy two-color work on the yoke. Two-color work on the yoke. Now, the colorwork pattern is intended to look like feathers. I don't think it's super obvious right away that it is feathers. It kind of just, in different colors, it almost just looks like speckling across, which is a really cool effect. And then if you look a little closer, you're like, oh, I can see how that's feathers. So it's a pretty fun colorwork design. Also, the designer says that it is really good for beginners because it's two-color colorwork, and it looks like most of it is just single stitches, which is a lot easier to start with for colorwork than having to strand across multiple stitches. So that's pretty great. It's written with a cropped and a standard length, so you have 2 options there. And then the bottom has this really pretty contrast color picot edge. I saw one of the project pages had also applied that picot edge to the sleeves, and it just looks adorable. Number 8 is the Sea Glass Tee by Wool and Pine. This one came out in May of 2021 and retails for $8.75 US. Finished sizes are 37 to 68 inches with the intended positive ease of 6 to 8 inches. Okay. This one I've actually made before, and I am still including it in my list because I would totally make it again. It's such a fun make, and it is a great sweater to wear. So if you are into something that is going to be a little bit more colorful, this is the project for you. It's done top down with a circular yoke, and it is all 1x1 color work. So if you don't like color work, this is not the one for you. If you do like color work or want to practice your color work, this is the perfect pattern for you. So the original one is written, or actually, I guess there's only one. It's written for scraps. You don't have to use scraps. It's written for scraps and mini skeins and the like. What I did with mine is I carried one neutral color throughout as my main yarn. And then every 8 rows, I switched colors. So mine's rainbow stripes. I used an Advent for mine. But you can also do scraps for both yarns and just change them out when you're done. So you can have a super, super scrappy sweater that just eats up all of your fingering weight scraps, which could be really cool. The other great thing about this pattern, and something I love about Wool and Pine so much, is they are really good educators. Their patterns are already written really well, but then they also include a lot of video elements that are fantastic. And this pattern comes with their custom fit video. To make sure I get this right. From what I can tell, it teaches you about selecting and customizing. So selecting your size and then customizing it to make the perfect fit for you. We're almost done. Number 9, it's the Rift Tee by Jacqueline Sayslak, and this one came out in July of 2019, making it the oldest pattern on this list. It retails for $8 US and finish sizes 40 through 72 with intended positive ease of 6 to 12 inches. So lots and lots of positive ease here. You can make this one in sport or DK. At the top, Ravelry says sport, but then if you read through the notes, the designer says you can use sport or DK weight yarn. They also said it works really well for plant fibers. It is a lightweight bottom up sweater, and there's 2 neckline options. From what I could tell, it looks like a slight V-neck and then more of a rounded scoop neck. Both are very, very pretty and worn on lots of different models. And those are my names for them, Scoop and V. It didn't say, or at least I couldn't find it. You can do short or long sleeves. There are optional bust darts. There is a custom fit bicep, which is something I haven't seen in a pattern before. It's also slightly cropped with a split high-low hem. I do love that. That is something that I really like wearing, and I really like how it looks on me. And they worked it up in a merino linen silk that grows a lot. So there's lots of instruction on how to knit your swatch, block your swatch, and then make sure you knit the right size sweater. Number 10 is the Salty Air Tee by Samantha Guerin. This one came out in June of 2022 and retails for $9 US. Finish sizes are 31.2 to 64.3, very specific, with the intended positive ease of 2 to 4 inches. This is a fingering weight sweater, or tee, as I should say, and we finally have something with a little bit of lace in it. So this one's really pretty. It looks like a circular yoke with this all over lace to it, and then the rest of it is just stockinette, easy, simple. It's a beautiful fit on the model. The length is adjustable and it is knit seamlessly. I think this one looks really good in a tonal color like it is modeled, and I just think this one's so pretty. Like, it's kind of that perfect breezy spring to summer kind of a top. So I still haven't landed on exactly what I want to do yet, but if I'm leaning towards lace, I'm going to go with this one. All right, those are the 10 tops that I am looking at for this spring. Which one do you think I should make? Help. Also, which one is your favorite, or what would you add to your queue right now? If you have any other top suggestions for me, definitely put them down below. Let's make this video not only a resource of these patterns, but share your favorite designers and your favorite patterns, and then people can just go through the comments and find lots and lots of amazing tops. I have the links for all of these from Ravelry linked down below so you can easily find each of these tops. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!